man named Elias who spent his days alone in a little cottage on a hill. Elias was known for his beautiful garden, full of vibrant flowers and abundant fruit trees. The townspeople often wondered about his solitude, thinking it must be lonely to live such a quiet life. One day, a young girl named Clara, curious about Elias, decided to visit him. When she arrived at his cottage, she found him tending to his garden. Clara hesitated before asking,
"Mr. Elias, don't you feel lonely being here all by yourself?"
Elias looked up with a gentle smile.
Lonely? No, Clara. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. There's a big difference between the two.
Clara frowned, confused.
"But how can you not be lonely if you're always alone?"
Elias invited Clara to sit with him on a bench in the garden. He gestured to the flowers around them and said,
These flowers are my companions. I've spent years learning how to care for them, listening to what they need. In return, they bring beauty into my life. I don't feel lonely because I'm connected to the world around me.
He pointed to the trees and the sky.
I'm not just connected to these plants, Clara. I'm connected to the earth beneath my feet, to the wind in the trees, to the birds that sing their morning songs. This connection is what fills my life with meaning.
Clara thought for a moment, then asked,
"But don't you ever miss having people to talk to?"
Elias smiled again.
I do talk to people when they visit, just like I'm talking to you now. But being alone gives me the time and space to understand myself and the world better. It allows me to find peace in the quiet moments.
Clara began to understand what Elias meant. She looked around at the garden, noticing how alive and vibrant it was. She realized that Elias wasn't lonely because he had found a deep sense of contentment in his solitude.
Solitude is a gift, Clara. It's where I've found my true self, and that's a source of endless joy. Being alone doesn't mean being lonely, it means being at peace with yourself.
As Clara left Elias's cottage that day, she felt a new sense of calm. She had learned that being alone didn't have to be something to fear or avoid. Instead, it could be a time to connect with the world and find happiness within herself, just like Elias did. Let's learn some words from the story. Abundant. Meaning, present in large quantities, more than enough. Example, the garden had an abundant amount of flowers, more than we could count. Wondered. Meaning, thought about something with curiosity or uncertainty. Example, she wondered if it would rain today because the sky looked cloudy. Solitude. Meaning, the state of being alone, often used when enjoying peace and quiet. Example, after a busy day, he enjoyed some solitude in his room, reading a book. Beneath my feet. Meaning, directly under where someone is standing or walking. Example, I could feel the soft grass beneath my feet as I walked through the park. Contentment. Meaning, a feeling of being happy and satisfied with what you have. Example, she felt a sense of contentment as she watched the sunset, happy with her simple life.